My name is Tashard Choice. I coach running backs at the University of Texas, and this is Lawyers and Longhorns.
Coach Jason Itkin, appreciate you coming on.
How you doing?
Very
Nice to
good.
meet you. How you doing?
Appreciate it, Kurt Arnold.
Nice to meet you guys. How y'all doing?
We're doing great. How are you today?
Good. Doing well.
Good. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Was born in Thomasville, Georgia. It's like the country dirt roads of South Georgia, and I was raised in East Point, Georgia, which is like the south side of Atlanta.
Okay.
So where I come from is huge. Was raised in a church background, hard working, doing things outside. Moved to Atlanta more in the city. My mom wanted to raise me in the city, so when I was 3 months, I stayed in Atlanta. So have an opportunity to be in the city and to learn to navigate, to be responsible away from home when my mom had to work. And then in the summertime, to go back with grandma and granddaddy, to be in a place where it's just country dirt roads. So I got a chance to grow up in both environments. So, you know what I mean, where I'm from, it made me everything who I am today and the people around me. And so to treat people with respect, to be able to coach kids who are sons or daughters of other, people, man, and it taught me a lot. And so I'm just coming from a place of humility, to be honest with you, just a place of thankfulness and more importantly, just trying to get people better and to do the right thing if I can do that. I done made so many bad decisions in my life, so I try to help people along their journey.
Well, you've been doing a great job doing it so far.
Trying.
Before you were the nation's very best running back coach, you were a pretty good running back yourself. Is that right?
I was all right. I wish I was faster. I wish I had speed some of these other guys have. Man, I was coached by some really good coaches, but more importantly for me, when I went to Oklahoma, the other school, out of high school, my roommate was Adrian Peterson. I transferred to Georgia Tech, my roommate is Megatron. And so when you're a football player and you work hard, but then you see guys that are way more talented and they work hard, it just make you work. It made me work hard, and then have an opportunity to see guys from different areas and see them like good people can be good players too. Yeah. You ain't just got to be a great talent. You can also treat people with respect, and them guys did that. And so for me, having a chance to play in the NFL for the Dallas Cowboys, that was my team growing up. I wanted to be like Emmitt Smith. Couldn't be like Barry Sanders because he was too good. I thought he was a different type of dude. So, but that's how I was growing up.
Y'all run the option when you were at Georgia Tech?
No, we were still under Chan Gailey.
Okay.
He was the head coach at the Cowboys for a while. So we ran pro-style offense. But the year after I went to the league, they went to Paul Johnson.
Yeah. How'd you like playing for the Cowboys?
The best.
Yeah?
Yeah, I talk trash. Like, we haven't won anything lately, but I still talk trash. I think we're going to win it every year. But for me, I saw how important winning is. Mm-hmm. And then from leadership, Mr. Jones, Stephen Jones, and then Coach Wade Phillips, and then Coach Jason Garrett, you just saw how obsessed the guys were being great at their craft and how every Sunday mattered. Every little thing that you did mattered. Being able to play in games when you're hurt, or just making sure you know the rules or what you got to do from top to bottom. That's how they ran their organization. And it's about winning and to put out a winning product. And so for me, I knew how important it was for the details, and I learned a lot. That's why I love it. And then the Cowboy fans are the best. No matter who's on the road or at home, it's nothing but love, unless you mess up on the field. You know how they do.
Then they'll let you hear about it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure, you're the worst player in the world, and it's sort of hard.
How are University of Texas fans?
Awesome. What's different for me being here, it's like when you see the Cowboys and how big it is and how big the brand is and how everywhere you go, people know who you are. Sort of similar from the University of Texas. And the fact that you have fans, because I went against them when I was in college, of course, and then now being on the other side, the alumni support. Like getting a chance to see Jamaal Charles, Priest Holmes, one of my good friends, to see Ricky Williams, like to have a chance to see Earl Campbell, you don't know what that did for me. But the fact that they come around and talk to our players, and it makes this place home. And so being around these fans and the alumni has totally changed my perspective. I see how special this place really is. And so being a part of this coaching has been different for me. It's been a place, like I told you, immediately I'm thankful to be. I walk through the doors and it's like, man, how in the world did I end up here? I got in the coaching try to change kids' lives. God didn't place me at the University of Texas, and now my whole mind frame didn't change because I can see guys have growth besides just the football. As people, as human beings, so it's different. But the fans are everything for us.
What's the hardest part of coaching?
Family. I just got a little daughter, my wife. I struggle as a man of knowing you got to put food on the table for your family, but also they're the most important ones in your family. Like if you go watch a football game or even the Olympics that's on right now, it don't matter what sport, they always put the camera to their family, and you can see how much they rejoice of somebody doing something that's really good. For me, it's just that time alone. Football is easy. Coaching football, the hours, that's part of it. That's the grind. That's football. But being away from your loved ones, that's the hardest part. And so to try to learn that is just day by day. I'm still trying to figure that out. But when I'm home, I'm dad. When I'm here, Coach Choice.
How much time do you spend recruiting?
All the time. It don't stop. Yeah, players make the coach. I've never seen a good coach that can coach bad players. You know what I mean? And so, like, when you see me, like, these guys give me credit. You will never see me take credit of these guys and their hard work. Now, I coach them hard. It's a standard. It's an expectation, but they're the ones that have to do the work. And for me, it's so cool because they'll do it and don't complain. Very coachable. No palms up. Yes, sir. No, sir. And to see that, that's growth, that's maturity. And so when they face stuff on the football field, hopefully I'll put them through a little something that's a little worse so they know how to adapt.
What's the culture like in that running back room, considering how stacked it is?
It's cool, man. See, Gregg Popovich, who is somebody who I look at as far as how he evaluates, one of his things on his evaluation deal was, can they celebrate other success? I got this in my office. And when you have really good talent, like in the NFL, I'm gonna give you a scenario. It's 3 running backs that play on Sunday for each team that travel. So you gotta be one of the top 96 running backs in the world to play on Sunday, okay? In that running back room, it's nothing but talent. Guys, you can see dudes first round, second round, third, you could tell the talent level, but everybody's so in detail. But what I realized in that locker room is Marion Barber and Felix Jones are some of my favorite teammates I've ever had. C.J. Spiller, Fred Jackson, some of my favorite teammates I've ever had. So once I got into the pros, I realized how much more it meant that your peers celebrated you and that you have competition, but you don't root for that man to fail. Everybody want to be the guy. We understand that, but if you work hard as you can and stay focused, but I think God understands, like when you really care about somebody else more than yourself, or you do want to cheer for them, it helps you elevate your level of competition, helps you play better because you're focusing on you're getting yourself better. And so I tell that to JB, Keelan, had to talk to him last year. Jaden Blue said, even, Bijan was the starter, but even when he was out the game, he'll cheer for Roshan Johnson. And when they score, you will see it. I watch them. It's one of the things I grade on film. Matter of fact, I'm sorry if I'm talking.
No, this is great. Yeah, this is interesting.
Last year, when we played in Alabama, JB, he dropped a pass, maybe been a touchdown. He came to the sideline and said, I got you, coach. So we in 21 personnel. Keelan is on the field. He probably carried the ball one time. JB runs the ball and scores the touchdown. We run outside zone, he scores the touchdown. And Keelan is running over to him going crazy. Jaden Blue, as said, is coming from the sideline going crazy. And to see that, that's the culture. Once I said it and let them know, hey, you're going to celebrate each other, and to actually see them do it and do it organically, not from me telling them. That's what the difference is. And when you walk into our running back room, you will see that. They'll check each other. We don't do that around here. Or this ain't the way we operate. And for me, that's the part that I love, because now in year 3, it's more the details I get to coach and not how I want, the culture and how I want them to practice every day. I think they got it now.
Is that something you look at when you're recruiting the guys? Like, not only does this guy have the potential to be a great running back here, but he has the potential to be a great teammate?
Absolutely, because that's one of the things that I had to figure out. Like when I go to a school and I go to the front office, most of the time it's a counselor, it's somebody in the front office. When I ask them about a kid, if they light up and say, oh man, I love that kid, I know all I need to know. Mm-hmm. If I'm speaking to him and I see his teammates and they come up to him, what's up? Like, you'll know how he naturally is with his teammates. Yeah. That's important, because when you come into a locker room with guys from different areas, different backgrounds, you want to see if they can coincide and be a great teammate before they become a great leader. And so that's the thing I look for a lot. It's part of it, because the guys that we have in here, they're good kids, good families, and even with their families, they understand, hey, listen, when my son get the opportunity to play, he's going to play. But we're going to cheer for everybody, because we're all in this thing together. We're trying to win.